Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple, and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is the ISUPK Killeen Sabbath service. This is the new time for our Sabbath service, 8 o'clock on Fridays. So with that, I imagine, which means to stand. La Yashala. Star. Wahakwadum, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to do the prayers. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malawaka, Taba'a, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathunlanawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Wala'a, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalatwa, Waha Allah, Waha Thapa Ra, La'awalamyam, Aman, in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. This is the prayer of the power of the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, Baba Kwasha, Lathunlanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwium, Hamathium, Hakak, Arakawa, Hata Ma'ala, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, the Wada Amun. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahawashi, thank you, so be it. This is the prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasha Allah, Waha Bayaf Saparium, Barak, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, the Wada Amun. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Aishai Ayunya, Ahahariam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Azariah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakayaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar Ra'ai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaafka, Wabawa'aka, my thigh, Wa'id Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, al-Damayalaka, al-Thakarash, wa-al-Thashakwat, al-Kayahana, al-Yabaka, Yahama Yawan, wa-Mashanayaka, Sha'a-wa-Ra'ash, al-Imaka, Ya-Arayam wa-Sawad, wa-Ya-Atha-Tazawa, al-Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakyadam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Atazawa, Lad Yakadwa, Alyaka, Barya, Yakarthwa, Ahawya, Adawam, Wa Yashama'alyam, Ma Wa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa Amawan, Wa Amalak, Palashat, Am Yashabya, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labinya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabian, Banakar, Kwayashwan, Na Shamadwa, Ba'ayan, Da'ira, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayatamwa, Na Dayaamwa, Ka'arab, Wa Kazaba, Wa Kazabak, Wa Ka Tazabanai, Ka Nasakamwa, Ashar Marwa, Na Yarashai, La Nawa, Ah Na'awa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagargala, Kakwash, La Penya, Raka, Ka'ash, Taba'ara Ya'ira, Waka Lahaba, Talahat, Haryam, Khan, Tharadatma, Lahaba, Salakia, Basa Irika, Wa Basa Wapapka, Ta Balaham, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayaba Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wa Yabawa, Ayaad, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Yadaiwa, Kayata, Kaya Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kaharataza. In the English, Psalms 83, keep not thy silence, O power, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power in possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. This is the prayer for the blessing of the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kayalyam, Wa Ha Akwathian, Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahweh Shai, the Wada Amun. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it. These are the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. And Shalom Israel. I'm going to give a courtesy salute to the Akim. Shalom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. And to the sisters, Shalom Yahweh Shemal Latham Bashem Yahweh Shai. Today will be in starting off in Exodus 39 and 21. I still believe the Most High has Moses finishing up all the aspects of the priesthood, the priest garments, the tabernacle, the ark, so on and so forth. Give me 1 second, pardon me. All right. If you have your Bible Hub app, you want to go into the interlinear portion to be able to follow along in the Hebrew. We'll be doing 49 verses. After every 7 verses, we'll do a breakdown. 1 second. Exodus 39 and 21. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. That's fine. About anything that's being spoken about. If you have anything you want to ask any questions about, that's fine. All right, so Exodus 39, verse 21. All right. All right, here we go in the Hebrew. Waya Karasar Ath Ha-Kashan Matar Ba'ai Dayawa All Taba'aith Ha-Apad Ba Patayal Thakalath Lahayat La Hayath All Kashab Ha'apad Wala'ah Ya Zak Ha-Kashan Ma'al Ha'apad Ka'ashar Tazawa'ah Yahweh Ath Mashah. Verse 22. Wa Ya'aish Ath Ma'ayal Ha'apad Ma'aisha Arag Ka Layal Thakalath. Exodus 39 and 23. Wapaya Ha Ma'ayal Ba Thawakawa Kapaya Tha Karaya Sapa La Payowa Sa Bayab La'a Ya Kwarai. Exodus 39 and 24. Waya Aishua All Shah Walaya Ha Ma'ayo Ra Mawa Naya Thakalath Wa Aragaiman Wa Tawa La'aith Shanya Ma Shazar. Exodus 39 and 25. Wa Ya'aishua Pa'ai Manaya Zahab Tawar Waya Danaiwa Ath Ha Pa'ai Manayam Ba Thawak Ha Ramayam Al Shawalaya Shah Walaya Ha Ma'ayo Sa Bayab Ba Thawak Ha Ramanai Wayam Salakia Ha Ramanayam. Exodus 39 and 26. Pa'aiman Wa Raman Pa'aiman Wa Raman All Shawalaya Hama'ayo Sabayab La Sharath Ka'ashar Tazawa'ah Yahweh Ath Mashah. Exodus 39 and 27. Wa Ya'aishua Ath Ha Katanath Shashah Ma'aisha Arag La Aharon Wa Laba Nayowa. Exodus 39 and 28. Wa'ath Ha Mataza Napath, Shashah, Wa'ath, Pa'iraya, Ha Maga Ba'ath, Shashah, Wa'ath, Makana Makanasaya, Habad, Shashah, Ma Shazar. Exodus 39 and 29, Wa'ath, Ha'abanat, Shashah, Ma Shazar, Wata Kalath, Wa'a Ragaman, Wa the Wa La'aith, Shanya, Ma'aisha, Raquam, Kashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Mashah. All right, in the English, Exodus 39, 21 to 29. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings unto the rings of the ephod with the lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work, all of blue. And there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of a habergeon, with a band round about the hole, that it should not rend. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet, and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, round about the hem of the robe, to minister in. The Lord commanded Moses. As the Lord commanded Moses, Salakia. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and his sons, and made a mitre of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twined linen, and a girdle of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet of needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. So the Lord had a specific uniforms that he wanted for the priest and the sons of Aaron, which was the priesthood. All right. Exodus 39 and 30. Waya Aishawa, Arth, Tazayata, Taza, Nazarah, Hakwadash, Zahab, Tahawar, Wayakath, the Baiwa, Layawa, Makatab, Pa, the Wa, Kaya, Kawa, Thayam, Kwadash, Yahweh. Exodus 39 and 31. Wayata Nawa, Layawa, Patayala, Takala, Latha, all, Ha Mataza Napath, Ma Lamai Salakia, Ma Lama Ila, Kashar, Tazawa'a, Yahweh, Ath, Mashar. Right. Exodus 39 and 32. Wa, the call, Badath, Mashakan, Ahal, Mawa'id, Waya'ai Shawa, Banya, Yasha'ala, Kakal, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Mashah, Khan, Aishawa, Exodus 39 and 33. Waya baya Iowa ath ha mashakan all masha ath ha ha wa'ath call ka layawa kwara shayawa baraya kayawa wa'ai madayawa wa'ai danayawa. Exodus 39 and 34. Wa'ath ma kasa I ra wath I warath ha ilium ha ma'ai damayim wa'ath makasa or irath hata kashayim wa'ath pa rakath ha masak. Exodus 39 and 35. Ath Aran ha Idath wa'ath ba dayawa wa'ath ha kaparath. Exodus 39 and 36. Ha shalakan ath call kalayawa wa'ath lakam ha penyayim ha penyayim. Let's see here. I read a verse over in the last. I read 8 instead of 7 on the first portion. So I'm just going to equal it back out. Where we at? Verse 30. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold and wrote upon it in a writing like to the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And they tied unto it a lace of blue to fasten it on high upon the mitre, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle to the tent of the congregation finished, and the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, and all his furniture, his taches, his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his sockets. So once they completed the work, like I have conveyed in other Sabbath services, I don't want to, reduce it to a circus, but the way that a circus structures this tents, it's built in a way to where you can break it down quickly and build it up quickly. It's made for moving, because we were sojourners through the wilderness. We had to, when the cloud moved, the chariot moved above us, we had to move with it. So wherever the tabernacle was set up, it had to be broken down in a way to where it could be carried, and y'all understand. All right, verse 34, and the covering of ram skins dyed red, and the covering of badger skins, and the veil of the covering. Verse 35, the ark of the testimony, and the staves thereof, and the mercy seat. Verse 36, the table and all the vessels thereof, and the showbread. All right, so we're going to do, let's see. Starting at verse 37 to 43. The third set of 7. 39 and 37 in the Hebrew. Ath, Hamanarah, Ha, Tahira, Ha, Salakia, Ha, Taha, Raha, Ath, Na, Rataya, Ha, Narath, Ha, Ma'ai Rakah, Wa'ath, call, Ka Layaha, Wa'ath, Shaman, Ha Amawar, Exodus 39 and 38. Wa'ath, Mazabak, Hazahab, Wa'ath, Shaman, Ha, Mashakah, Wa'ath, Kwa, Tarath, Ha, Samayam, Wa'ath, Mashak, Pa, Taka, Ha, Ahal. Salakia, verse 39. Ath, Ma, Zabak, Ha, Nakash, Ha, Nashakath, Wa'ath, Makabar, Ha, Nakash, Ashar, Lowa, Ath, Ba, Dayowa, Wa'ath, Ka, Kalayowa, Ath, Ha, Kayora, Wa'ath, Kanayowa, Ath, Kwalaaya, Ha, Katazara, Ha, Aima, Daya, Wa'ath, Adanaya, Salakia, Adanai, Adanaya, Wa'ath, Hamashak, La Shataza, La Sha'ira, Ha Katazara, Ath, Ma Yatai, Ma Yata Rayowa, Wa Yata Dat, Salakia, Wa Yata Datayaha, Wa'ath, Ka, Ka Laya, Ibath, Ibad, Ha Mashakan, La Ahal, Mawa'ad. Exodus 39 and 41. Ath, Bagadiah, Hasharad, Lasharath, Bakwadash, Ath, Bagadiah, Hakwadash, La'aharan, Hakahan, Wa'ath, Bagadiah, Ba Nayawa, La Kahan. Exodus 39 and 42. Kakal, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Mashah, Khan, Aishawa, Banya, Yasha'ala, Ath, Kal, Ha, Ibad, Ha Abad, Ha Ibada, Ha Ibida, Wayara, Mashah, Ath, Kal, Ha Malakah, Ha Malakah, Waha Naha, Aishawa, Atha, Kashar, Tazawa'a, Yahweh, Khan, Aishawa, Wa Yabarak, Atham, Mashah. In the English, Exodus 39, 37, the pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his gate of brass, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver, and his foot. The hangings of the court, his pillars and his sockets, and the hanging for the court gate, his cords and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle, for the tent of the congregation, the cloths of service, to do service in the holy place. Y'all know, for y'all that watch Captain Tazariak, Captain Katazar as well,
you know, a lot of times like a familiar block and street that they work on in the scriptures is Romans 9 and it's like 4 through, I want to say 4 through 6. But you know how when it says that it speaks about the listing of the things that pertain to the Israelites, right? And it'll say like the covenants, the glory, right? But then it says the service of God, right? Christians, the reason why Christians can like, you know, do what they do is because they're not in the river of God. You understand? What I mean is like that pure river that comes from the throne of God, which is the truth. It's the continuity of the culture of the service of God, how God was to be served, and it's only outlined in our law, right? So when you're reading about how he specifically is about the clothes that they wear, right, the mitris that they wear, right, the headpieces, the garments, right, the structure of the tabernacle, how many taches, how many poles, how many rings, the way that the ark is built, you know what I mean, the mercy seat, right, all of it, and who was designated to serve in the tabernacle, you know what I'm saying? Aaron and Levi and Aaron's sons, right? The designation of a high priest, right? The showbread, all these specifics that the Lord gave, and then all of a sudden, right? Because Christ died, now it's tambourines and church singing and people falling out and the pastor just pouring oil on people's heads. It's really like a disrespect to the Lord. Like Christians have no problem saying that the Lord doesn't change, but then somehow they explain to you how he changed. You understand? And that's why it's so important to be in the ISUPK, because repetition has an effect on the human psyche. Hearing something over and over again, it's almost like you ever like be in your car and you like hear a song that you really don't like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't listen to the radio no more. I don't think with current technology anybody's really listening to the radio anymore. But for y'all from that time period, if you remember, you know, it could be a song that you really didn't even like, weren't interested in, but because the radio kept playing it over and over again, you might find yourself at the grocery store, in school, or, you know what I'm saying, on the basketball court, and all of a sudden that song start playing in your head, you know, and then in some form or way you begin to like it. Why? Because you keep hearing it over and over again. And, you know, that's why, you know, the Lord said you have to come and be born again. You understand? Because the things that we've been hearing have been, you know what I'm saying, the lies, you know what I'm saying, the vain philosophies, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, nonsense. So when you read the service of God, you know, this is why it's so important. The Lord, you know, Christ and Yahushua didn't come and teach anything other than what was taught by Moses. As a matter of fact, he said that if you didn't believe the Moses words, how can you believe, or if you didn't believe Moses' writings, how can you believe my words? So if you don't take what Moses said is true and right, then how can you even begin to understand what I'm saying? You understand? So, you know, always remember that the Holy Spirit lies in the context. And in order for you to have the context, you have to go to the beginning and get the context all the way through. You know, they always love to say that, you know, in the Christian church, why don't you read the whole chapter to get the context? And these are the ones that are saying that the Old Testament and the law is done away with, but they're championing context. All right. So, you know, but thanks, you know, Barakatah Yahweh for Commander General Yohana, you know what I'm saying, and raising up the generals to be able to raise up the captains, to raise up the officers, to be able to teach the truth of the scriptures so that we can have the Holy Spirit, you know what I'm saying, so we can see things correctly and be in the right vibe. You understand? Not the vibe of our oppressor and our enemies, but the vibe of our power. You know what I'm saying? The Most High God in Christ, right? Let me see here. Salaki. Verse 41, the cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest and his son's garments to minister in the priest's office. Also, you can tell, like with a lot of these individualites, these Christians who call themselves Israelites, you know, you have one particular, you know what I'm saying? You can't really call him a Christian. You know what I mean? He was more of a sodomite that allowed his property to peg him, right? Now he's denying that he's an Israelite and saying he's not part of the community anymore, right? But it's funny how he does this after he gets caught, right? But no sweat. But a lot of these individuals, Christians that call themselves Israelites, you know, that followed him, you know, they wear what the so-called Amalekite or the so-called Jewish man wears, right? You know, whatever it is, the little thread from the four, you know, on the four threads on, you know, two in the front, two in the back, and above that or on top of it, they'll have the hula hoop skirt, right? And they'll say that garments are just regular clothing, but you can see here that based on the specificity of how the Lord wanted their garments to be structured, these are not regular clothes that you just wear in the street. When it says to put fringes on the borders of your garments, you understand? You understand that these are robes. This is priestly attire. So all you got to do, like, you know, it's very easy to distinguish between the truth and falsehood if you know, you're in Sabbath service and you're going over the instructions and what was commanded to us by the Most High, you know what I'm saying, and what Moses gave, you know what I'm saying, to the priesthood, right? So just remember that, you know what I'm saying? Holy garments. What does holy mean? To be separate. So it can't be something that you just put on, right? Right. It has to be structured in a certain way. It has to have a certain spirit, a certain look. Because why? It's the Spirit of the Lord. He's the one it came from his mind. And that's the other thing too, man. Like as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I don't think we understand that when it says on earth as it is in heaven, you're a representation of the Most High. When it says the kingdom of heaven, that's heaven on earth. That's what's going on in the fourth dimension, what the Lord has structured, and he wants you to represent that in this realm. You understand? And he didn't give that program, he didn't give that algorithm to anybody else but us. And that's why Christ would say, if the salt have lost its savor, what good is it but to be cast on the ground and trodden over by men? If you don't have the Spirit of the Lord, if you don't have that vibe, then you're going to get walked on. You know what I'm saying? That's the only two options. Either you getting stepped on or you stepping. All right. Verse 42. Salakia, the holy garments for Aaron, the priest, and his son's garments to minister in the priest office. Verse 42, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work. So they brought these, everything that had been built, the way that Moses had given the orders and the instructions as he received from the Most High. Then they brought it to Moses for him to look over it. What you're seeing here, the Lord, you know, the Lord had Moses do the same thing that the Lord did in creation. In creation, the Lord gave the instructions to Christ. Christ gave those instructions to the angels. The angels went and did the work, and then they would present the work to the Most High. And that's when you would see him say, and the Lord looked upon it and said, this is good. He was giving his approval. He's saying approved. You know what I'm saying? He'll see the earth was void and without form, and, you know, and let there be light, and then take the different gases and whatnot in space for light. The angels would do that. Then they would make the land and form the waters. Okay, this is good. You know, and in each stage of creation, that's what happened. So now when they completed their work with the tabernacle, with the Ark of the Testimony, and with all the various vessels and, you know what I'm saying, everything that pertained to the service of God, they brought up before Moses for him to look it over to make sure that it was done in the way that the Lord said to do it. You know, and that's an important thing. A lot of times people get instructions, they get orders, and they leave and go do what they want to do, and they don't even bring it back to get an approval. You know, like that's showing you the spirit of how you're supposed to do things. Wives with your husbands, they ask you to do a particular thing. You should, get it done and then bring it back for approval to have it be looked over. You know, with children, the children, they give them instructions to do things. They should be taught to, Mom, come look at my room. I mean, of course, you're going to come inspect it, but they should be like, Mom, I'm done. I completed this. Can you come look at it? You know what I mean? Because it's you do good to communicate, right? And with such sacrifices, it says the Lord is well pleased. You're letting it be, you've been given an instruction. You complete the instruction. He's supposed to come and show that to make sure that the person that has, that gave you the order or has the authority over you, that they can look over and like, okay, yeah, that's good. But, a lot of us, we take instructions and orders like we take it like it's like a prerogative. Like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll speak on it when I feel like speaking on it. And that's the wrong spirit. Whether you in a marriage, whether it's children with their parents, whether it's officers, with the men above them completing orders. You're supposed to, when you get done with an instruction, you should get it, let it be known that you got it completed, and let it be known that for them to say, okay, that's good, good job. When Christ comes back and to give you out his rewards, he said with the person that did what he said, he's going to say, thou good and faithful servant. He's going to give an approval. Why? Because the works that you're doing, they're being observed. Right? So this is just another, there's nothing new under the sun. Moses is only doing what the Lord did with Christ and the angels. All right, let's get back to it. Exodus 40:1. The next 7. Salakia. Waya Debar, Yahweh, All, Mashah, Lamar. Exodus 40:2. Bayawam, Hakwadash, Ha, Ra'ai, Shawan. Ba, Akkad, La, Kodash, Thaquayim, Ath, Mashakan, Ahal, Mawa'id. Exodus 40:3. Wa, Shemath, Sham, Arawan, Ha, Idawath, Wasakath, All, Ha'aran, Ath, Ha, Parakath. Salakia. Exodus 40:4. Wa Haba'ath, Ath, Ha Shalakan, Salakia, Wa Rakath, Ath, Rakaiwa, Wa Haba'ath, Ath, Ha Manara, Wa Layath, Ath, Narathaya, Salakia, Na Rathayaha. Exodus 40:5. Wa Nathataha, Ath, Mazabak, Hazahab, Laquatarath, Lapanya, Arawan, Idath, Wa Shemath, Ath, Masak, Pathak, La Mashakan. Exodus 40:6. Wanataha, Ath, Mazabak, Ha Ila, Lapanya, Pathak, Mashakan, Ahal, Mawa'id. Exodus 40:7. wa natha, wanatha, salakia, ath, ha kayara, or hi yakar, bayan, aha, mawa'id, wa bayan, ha mazak, ha mazakai, mazakaka, ha salakia, ha mazakaka, wanatha, sham, mayam. All right. Exodus chapter 40, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, on the first day of the first month, thou shalt set up the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation. And thou shalt put therein the ark of the testimony, and cover the ark with the veil. And thou shalt bring in the table, and set in order the things that are to be set in order upon it. And thou shalt bring in the candlestick, and light the lamps thereof. Y'all know that's the menorah, right? And thou shalt set the altar of gold for the incense before the ark of the testimony, and put the hanging of the door to the tabernacle. And thou shalt set the altar of the burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation. And thou shalt set the laver between the tent of the congregation and the altar. And thou shalt put water therein. All right, Exodus 4:40 and 8. To 15. Washamath, Ath, Hakatazarah, Sabayab, Wanatha, Ath, Masak, Sha'ir, excuse me, Ha-Katazarah, or Ha-Katazarah, Salakia, Ha-Katazarah. Exodus 40 and 9, Wa Lakwa Kata, Ath Shaman, Ha Mashaka, Wa Mashakata. So no, Salakia. Wa Mashakath. Ha Mashakan, Wa'ath, Call, Ashar, Bawa, Wa Kwadash, Athawa, Wa'ath, Call, Kalayawa, Wahayaha, Kwadash. Exodus 40 and 10, Wa Mashakath, Ath, Mazabak, Ha'ailaha, Wa'ath, Call, Kalayawa, Wa Kwadashta, Wa Kwada Shata, Ath. Come on, man. It's like y'all, my phone acting up. Stand by. Waha Yaha. Ha Mazabak Kwadashium. Exodus 40 and 11. Wa Mashakatha Ath. Hayaka Yara. Wa'ath. Kanayawa. Wa Kwadashata. Salakia. Wa Kwadasht. Wa Kwadasht. Athawa. Exodus 40 and 12. Waha Kwarabath, Ath Aharan, Wa'ath, Banyawa, All Thak, Ahar, Mawa'id, Wa, Makataza, Salakia, Wa, Raka, Tazata, Atham, Bamayim, Exodus 40 and 13. Wa, Hala, Bashath, Ath, Aharon, Ath, Ba, Gedaliah, Hakwadash, Wamashak, the Mashak, Salakia, Mashak, the Atawa, Quadash, the Atawa, Kahan, Laya. Exodus 40 and 14. Wa'ath, Ban Yawa, Thaqua Rayab, Waha Labash, Wa Halab Shata Atham, Katanath. Exodus 40 and 15. Wa Mashakath, Atham, Kashar, Mashakath, Ath, Abahayim, Wa Kahanawa, Laya, Waha Yataya, Lahayath, Laham, Ma Shakatayim, La Salakia, La Kahanath, La Kahanath, Awalam, La Daratayim. Exodus 40 and verse 8 to 15. And thou shalt set up the court round about, hang up the hanging at the court gate, and thou shalt take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all that is therein, and thou shalt hallow it, and all the vessels thereof, and it shall be holy. And thou shalt anoint the altar of the burnt offering and all his vessels, and sanctify the altar, and it shall be an altar most holy. And thou shalt anoint the laver and his foot, and sanctify it. And thou shalt bring Aaron and his sons unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and wash them with water. And thou shalt put upon Aaron the holy garments, and anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest office. And thou shalt bring his sons, and clothe them with coats. And thou shalt anoint them as thou didst anoint their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest office. For their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. All right. Exodus 40 and 16. All right. Waya Aish, Mashah, Kakal, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Atah, Khan, Aisha. Exodus 40 and 17. Wa Yahaya, Bakwadash, Hara Aishwan, Bashanah, Hashanayah, Bakad, Lakwadash, Haiquium, Hamashakan. Exodus 40 and 18. Wahaikium, Salakia, Wa Yaquam, Mashah, Ath, Hamashakan, Wayathan, Ath, Adanayawa, Wayasham, Ath, Quorashium, Salakia, Quorasho, Qua Rashai, Yawa. Wayathan Ath. Ba Rakayawa. Wayaquam Ath. I Mawadayawa. Salakia. Wayaparash Ath. Ha Ayal. All Hamashakan. Wayasham Ath. Makasar. Ha Ahal. Ilayawa. Ma Lama Ailaha. Kashar. Tazawaha Yahweh Ath Mashah. Exodus 40 and 20. Wayakwak. Salakia Wayakwak. Wayathan Ath. Ha'ida. Ha'aidath. Salakia all. Ha'aran. Wa Yasham Ath. Habadayim, all Ha'aran, Wayathan, Ath, HaKaparath, all Ha'aran, Ma Lama'aila, Exodus 40 and 21, Wa Yaba'a, Ath, Ha'aran, all Ha'mashakan, Wayasham, Ath, Pakarath, Hamasak, Wayasak, all Arawan, Ha'aidoath, Ka'ashar, Tazawa'a, Yahweh, Ath, Mashah. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off. Wayathan, Ath, Ha Shalakan, Ba'al, Mawa'aid, all Yorak, Ha Mashakan, Tazapanah, Makah, Wataza, La Pakarath, Exodus 40 and 23, Waya Alawa, Salakia, I Layawa, Arak, Lakam, La Penya, Yahweh, Ka'ashar, Tazawa'a, Yahweh, Ath, Mashah. Exodus 40 and 24. Wayasham, Ath, Hamanara, Salakia, Ba'ahal, Ma'awad, Nakach, Ha Shalakan, all Yarak, Ha Mashakan, Na Gabah, Exodus 40 and 25, Wa Ya'ayo, Hanarath, La Penya, Yahweh, Ka'ashar, Tazawa'a, Yahweh, Ath, Mashah, Exodus 40 and 26, Wa Yasham, Ath, Ma Zabach, Hazahab, Ba'ahal, Mawa'aid, La Penya, Ha Pakarath. Salakia. Shalom. Colonel McCon, sir, Salakia, I'm just finishing up Sabbath service. Can I call you afterwards? Let's see here. Where was I at? Salaki, okay. Verse 17. And it came to pass in the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up. And Moses reared up the tabernacle and fastened the sockets and set up the boards thereof, and put in the bars thereof, and reared up his pillars. And he spread abroad the tent over the tabernacle, and put the covering of the tent above it, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he took and put the testimony into the ark, and set the staves on the ark, and put the mercy seat above the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the veil of the covering, and covered the ark of the testimony, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the table in the tent of the congregation upon the sides of the tabernacle northward without the wall. And he set the bread in order upon it before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. And he put the candlestick in the tent of the congregation over against the table on the side of the tabernacle southward. And as he lighted the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses, and he put the golden altar in the tent of the congregation before the veil. And that's where we're going to end off at. Next week, we'll begin at Exodus 40 and 27, and then go from there. And with that, I Mijum, which means to stand.
La Yashala to Israel. Salute the Torah. Yahal Ba'ashem Yahal Shai Brakiyah. Sar Wahakwadam, which means to turn and face the east. I'm going to do the prayers. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malawaka, Daba'a, Ratazaika, Haya, Aisha, Bar Rataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanlanawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Wala'a, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahatha Para, La'awalamyam Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, so be it. The prayer of the power of the Hakak. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Baba Kushah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latzahar, Ha Matazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwium, Hamathium, Hakak, Arakawa, Hatama Allah, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Wada Amun, in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. This is the prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasha'ala, Waha Bayasaparium, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Wada Amun. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, Bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha Ayanya, Ahahariam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Azariah, Ma'aim, Yahweh Aisha, Shemayim, Warataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yanyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'aya Kayaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar Ra'a, Yashamar, Apnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'atha, Wa'id, Awalum. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved, and he that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Thakarash, Wa Al-Thashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Awayabaka, Yahama Yawan, Wa Mashanayaka, Sha'a wa Ra'ash al-Imaka, Ya'arayam wa Sawad, wa Ya'atazawa, Al-Tazafawanyaka, Amar wa Lakawa wa Nakyadum, Magauya wa La'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwad, Kaya na Atazawa, Lab Yakadwa, Alyaka, Baryat, Yakarthawa, Ahawya, Adawam, Wa Yashama'alyam, Mawa Abba, Wa Hagariam, Gabal, Wa Amawan, Wa Amalak, Palashat, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Gama Shawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarwai, La Binya, La Wat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamayan, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabian, Banakar, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan, Da'ira, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nadayamawa, Ka'arab, Wa Kazahaba, Wa Kazabak, Wa Katazamanai, Kal Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Wanai, Yarasha, Lanawa, Afna Awaf, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagargala, Kakwash, La Penya, Raka, Kaash, Tabaara, Yaira, Wakala, Habata, Lahat, Haryam, Khan, Tharadatma, Basa Iraka, Wa Basa Wapapka, Da Balahum, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kualawan, Wayaba Kwashwa, La'a, Panyahum, Kualawan, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wa Yabawa, Aya Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Daiwa, Kaya Athasham, Ka Yahweh, Labad, Ka Al Yawan, Al Kaharataza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O power, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Hagarenes, Salak, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power in possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flame set up the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm, and fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. This is the prayer of the blessings for the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, why Mayaka Allah, why Alahayim, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapium, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kayalyam, Waha Akwapian, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, the water Amun. In the English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. These are the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushai, thank you always. So be it. Going to give a courtesy salute to the Akim men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shemala, Yahweh Salaki. Salaki. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Salaki. Yazamatah, Sar, turn face to sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atham, Bashem, Yahweh Shai.